This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all,
Just stop.
get real.
Welcome to DBL. Today I thought we'd talk about the truth behind some tabloids, shall we? Get a little dirty mudslinging. All right, we've all seen salacious National Enquirer headlines at the grocery store, like Scientology's Doomsday, or ones like William and Kate in divorce talks. But in testimony yesterday during Donald Trump's criminal trial, the former National Enquirer boss David Pecker, he pulled back the curtain and revealed some shocking truths about how these tabloids actually operate. He says they pick stories based on their own political ideology. They choose positive stories for candidates that they back and negative stories about their opponents. They completely make up stories, like the one about Ted Cruz's father and Lee Harvey Oswald, which David testified was all based on a fake photo. They pick stories based on what they think people are interested in hearing, even if they have no basis in reality. Also, they pay people for their stories, even if the stories are just based on rumor. Wow, I feel like much more credible up here. So what do you think about these truths, and why do you think these tabloids are still so popular, even if people may know that they are filled with lies? First of all, just so you know, they first tabloid was founded in 1919. The New York Daily News was the first one. So this has gone back almost 100 years. What do you think, Erica?
I think people want to be entertained the way that they want to be entertained. I mean, if you think about even reality television, we know that we are suspending a portion of reality, if not the majority of reality, in order to enjoy these shows. Now, I mean, clearly most of us have known that these tabloids are filled with fake news. One of our segments, like almost 20 years ago when I was on morning radio in Chicago, was to call tabloids with fake stories.
And to try and get them on?
Right. Yeah, because they were, like, they always talk to you like, okay, so tell us more. So we would just like come up with these stories on the air to like prove to people like you can really say anything. And that was 20 years ago.
I mean, some of these ones, British tabloids also, but Jeff, things like Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky in the 90s, they were huge in the grocery stores. Princess Di, Amy Fisher, Julia Roberts calling off her marriage, Mike Tyson. I mean, these were enormous, but some of them were just blatantly, remember like aliens landed in the backyard. Like, what did you think? Did you buy those?
No, but my mom loved them.
Really?
I remember growing up and she'd have them behind a cookie jar. I could still like picture it. She loved these magazines, and I ended up in one with Jordan. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So they printed out like this was the article, and it said a source told. You know, this is right after we got off of Big Brother and did The Amazing Race. I was 31 back then. I had some gray hair, but they're like a source says she can't stand his gray hair. No source ever said that to them. You know what I mean? She's never even been to California. They could have got a hold of her if they needed to. But it's just so funny what ends up in those tabloids. That's a nothing story. I just thought it was funny that one day I ended up in there. But this is how the internet works now. Everything is fake, but no one could differentiate what's right. They want to believe I don't care what anybody says, we are on sides. And you want to hear what your side has to say. Nobody wants to hear, hey, if you don't like me, Jeff went to the grocery store and turned down some Girl Scout cookies. They want to hear Jeff went to the grocery store, said no, and dumped over the table and pushed a little girl on the ground. That's the story that they want to hear. And they're like, I knew that guy was a jerk. That's what the tabloids do. That's what the internet does. They take opposing political sides of you, just to be political here, and smear the other side. And if you're on the other side, you're like, I knew it. It's not true. It's not true. And that's what you get when you watch the CNNs and the Fox News. You get smeared with the information that's one-sided, but people want to believe it. They want to believe the sensationalism of it.
It's so gross. Now listen, if it's fake, you can sue because these people have claimed that this is journalism. So I just want to give Steph some people who have sued successfully. There's a famous case many of you remember, Carol Burnett, 1981. She sued because they said she got drunk with Henry Kissinger. Well, that's not true. So she sued for libel because she's my hero and wonderful, and she won because she stands up for the truth. Katie Holmes, she sued the Star magazine after they suggested she herself was a drug addict. Probably a bad day, and that's all it was. And then, of course, in 2010, Brad Pitt and Angelina, they sued saying that the couple was divorcing. Sadly, they did then divorce later on. But Steph, what do you think? Would you, if you were up in all these magazines, would you sue? Like Tom Cruise sues every time almost. What would you do?
Well, I think obviously every story is completely different, and it's really sad that this is our choice of entertainment. And obviously a lot of people do heavily digest all of this information, otherwise they wouldn't still exist. And it's sad that it's morphed from traditional print media now to digital, where we're clicking on what is evidently a very fake headline to read some gossip about people that we don't know, nor is it important.
Right.
But what's even more crazy are like the stings that a lot of these tabloids would set up, that they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on to set people up, like Mazir Mahmood. He would literally target a celebrity. He would want to make out they're a drug pusher, that they're an addict, whatever, and he would spend, and the magazines he was affiliated with, hundreds of thousands of dollars to get them in a situation, trap them.
Wow.
To lure them with, oh, I'm from a big network, I'm going to give you a job, come partying with me, offer them a little bit of something that they shouldn't have. They're torn, what do I do? Am I going to lose this huge gig if I don't do it? He's got hidden cameras, he's snapping them. I mean, it's wild. And this happened all through the 90s and the noughties in England. It's insane.
I would sue.
And so many people fell for it. So many people.
Would you guys sue? Would you sue?
I think, well, in the end, people did, and he went to prison. But the tabloids all supported him, and he was their biggest earner. That's how they made their money.
What's funny is when, in the old days, you go to a grocery store and walk through your little aisle, right? Where you put, and then you got the candy for the kids and the tabloids for the moms, almost. You know what I mean? The dads, whatever. And that was your filter. Now on this thing, they filter, they curate, they put the magazines right next to your face that you think you should buy. So whatever you're hating on, I hate this, I hate that, your whole aisle is filled with that because of your algorithm on your phone now. It's even more curated.
What's that going to do to that generation? What's that going to do?
They don't know it, but it influences how their behavior and what they choose to believe is the truth or not. You have to have some sort of filter. That's why a balance of opinions is so important, except we're eliminating someone's opinion because we don't agree with it, so let's wipe them off the face of the earth.
I just don't know how
it's
there's
crazy.
still space for so much fake, like literally fake news that is completely lies.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant.
Do you think everybody who gets these magazines or reads those aisles know it's fake? Do they think they know?
No, I don't think they do.
I don't either.
I don't think they do.
I don't think so either.
I think when I was growing up, people believed it.
Yeah.
People believed it, for sure.
God. Anyway, if it were me, I would be suing. What are you thinking? Would you be suing?
I mean,
I'd be suing. I'd be the suit train.
You got to be very specific where you put your energy.
True, and you can't let everything
get you.
That's the
thing, and that's what they're relying on.
You're
Most
right.
people aren't going to give it the energy.
They're going to just walk on by. Coming up on DBL, do you believe in astrology? Why some people are using the power of the zodiac to pick where they go on vacation or even where they move. And we're talking with a woman in her 40s who's defying society's age expectations by competing in a pageant. Welcome back to DBL. Okay, how many of you really start your day by reading your daily horoscope? Can you clap? I kind of do. You don't do that? Okay. A new survey is out, okay? A shocking 69% of people, Americans, believe in astrology and the power of the stars to determine all sorts of things about you and your future. But the survey found that younger people generally don't believe in astrology as much as the older generation. Also, people are now using astrology to help them choose where to go on vacation, where to move, all based on finding out how your energy aligns with the city where you want to live or travel. So DBL Nation, we always want to hear from you. Do you believe in astrology? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I don't think it's wrong to match your energy with the city.
I don't think it's wrong to do whatever you want to do as long as you aren't hurting other people.
Right.
I do think that this is kind of a false equivalency to talk about astrology based on the belief of different generations, because, and I'm just saying, in my experience, I didn't really have an understanding or a belief in astrology until I was probably in my mid-30s, when I had several cycles of my life that I started to understand that, like, life is very cyclical, and I could start to see patterns. When you're younger, you are still trying to figure out who you are to even determine what you believe.
The perspective isn't there.
Right. So I don't know if you ask those same people in the generation below us when they're our age, if those numbers would change.
That's it,
because that's quite possible.
That's so interesting. The patterns have emerged for them. That's really interesting. You based your wedding on your astrology?
I'm a huge believer in anything like supernatural astrology, energy, chakras, whatever. Massive believer. So yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to move to a location because of astrology. I wouldn't do that. But I did definitely go and say, look, you know, when out of the next X amount of years is a good time, the stars aligned, this is his birth chart, this is mine, where, how, what, and I totally based my entire wedding off that.
And that feels good. I think that's okay. If you
Look at Jeff is loving it.
Jeff, what do you think?
Listen, no.
Hey, you know what? 50% of marriages end in divorce. I want mine to be successful. I want it to be a long time. A little bit of good luck from the heavens, if believe what you want. A little bit of sprinkled dust, I don't mind.
And if that's what tips the scales, good for you, right? I believe in a motto, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. It's all a mindset.
Sure.
So if you're getting positive energy from reading your horoscope, good for you.
Sure.
If you think it's going to tip the scales and not getting divorced, good for you. If you carry a rock in your pocket and you think it's chakra connected to the earth, good for you. It's all positive. I pray every day. I do all that. That's for my mindset. Do I believe if the moon's over here and the star's over there and we're in retrograde? No, I just had a bad day. I don't think it was the moon that had anything to do with it. But if you do believe in that, good for you. I'm all for that stuff. Who doesn't like a fortune cookie? Yeah.
You get a fortune cookie. I got to be honest, though. I agree with Erica. As I got older and as I learned more, I don't know, I learned that my body was filled with water. I learned, as you have always said, the moon really is effective with the tides and water. I do think that there is something to looking at the sky and feeling small and feeling that there's something bigger.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't mean scientifically I'm right, at least I'm believing in something. I'm holding on to something. And I think that is what you were saying. If it can be a placebo effect. If that tips the scale, that's what you need. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm a Capricorn. If anyone wants to tell me where I should live, and go and move. Let's get to the tag board poll. Do you believe in astrology? No.
But I'm a Gemini. I just want to point that out. And everyone's
Split
like, oh,
personality.
exactly.
Yeah,
Everyone
twins.
says that. Oh, you're two different people. Who isn't pissed and happy?
You were distinctly two different people, though. No.
You're not happy and sad? You should see you during commercial and on air.
Don't break the fourth wall! How dare you? Coming up on DBL. Get the tissues ready, Marcy. We're talking with a pageant contestant in her 40s who's competing with women half her age. Why she decided to just go for it. I hear she's a Sagittarius. Welcome back. Have you ever wished you pursued a childhood dream? Well, earlier we spoke with Mara Matlack, a woman who's competing for the new Miss New York beauty pageant crown at the age of 44. Take a look.
Please welcome Mara to DBL.
Yeah.
Hey DBL, how are you guys?
Burst of sunshine. All right, Mara. At 26, you were supposed to compete in the Miss New York USA pageant, but at the very last minute, you dropped out. Why?
Yes, I was about to fulfill my childhood dream of competing at Miss New York USA, the preliminaries for Miss USA. I had prepared the whole year, and I had to withdraw at the last moment because I got a once-in-a-lifetime career opportunity that wasn't going to come around again. And I made the decision to prioritize a guaranteed opportunity for my career, which is something I think a lot of people can relate to.
Yes.
But nonetheless, over the past 19 years, little Mara has always been whispering in the back of my mind, you know, what if, what if? But I did have to accept that that dream was closed to me forever. That door had closed.
Mm-hmm. Well, many women can relate to putting their dreams on hold, as you said. But what made you decide to pursue your pageant dream now at 44 years old?
So as of 2024, the Miss USA organization has eliminated the age restrictions, and I'm now once again eligible. So childhood dream, here I come.
Yeah.
And ironically, I couldn't be happier that it turned out this way, because if I were to win this title now at age 44, I would make history at Miss New York USA. And if I walked across that stage at Miss USA at age 44, I would be the first to do so. And I can say with 1000% confidence that I can make more of an impact as a title holder today than I could have when I was 26 years old.
Absolutely.
Because I have a larger purpose now for competing.
Well,
someone's been practicing their speech.
No, and very good though. Our chat is lighting up right now. Just saying she's incredible. She deserves to win. Megan Alexander says, you go, girl. You look insanely amazing. I will be rooting for you. So you are inspiring people left and right. So the majority of the contestants are in their 20s. Have you experienced any negative feedback given the age difference?
Honestly, regarding negative feedback, I don't receive that. I reject that. I'm over here in my childhood dreams era. I'm in my working hard mode. And I mean, like, it's so silly. I don't know what people are expecting. Like, oh, I'm hobbling across the stage in my swimsuit with my cane, like the blasphemy. I'm wearing a piece of fabric like a swimsuit. I don't know why my old lady voice has a British accent, but regardless, it's also silly. You know, like, women of all ages deserve to be celebrated for the contributions we're making, and that's exactly my goal in competing for Miss New York USA.
Love it.
Well, speaking of working hard, let's talk about the pageant. It's in June, but when did you start preparing for it?
The moment that I found out the age restriction had been lifted, in fact, I didn't even have it confirmed. I just heard a rumor and I started preparing. So I was hitting that gym. I was getting my trainer. I was planning my wardrobe. I was practicing in heels because honestly, I have not worn heels since COVID. I've been living in my yoga pants and my Nikes. So it's taken a lot of practice to put those stilettos back on again. Yeah, I have a good, really long spreadsheet going of all the stuff, all the things on my spreadsheet. I'm a big spreadsheet person.
You look fantastic. We only have about a minute left, but I hear it's all about the dress. What can you tell us about yours?
Yeah, so I actually saved my gown from when I was supposed to compete in 2005. It's been cluttering up my mom's closet and been through like every move that my parents have done over the years. And when I realized I was going to compete again, I called my mom and I said, you know, Mom, it's your lucky day. I'm taking the dress. And I'm going to actually use pieces of the fabric and intertwine it into the gown that I'm wearing on stage. So that way I can take pieces of who I was with me on stage in Miss New York.
That is beautiful, Mara. We are rooting for you. This has been so inspiring. Thank you for sharing your story. DBL Nation, you can follow her, so be sure to, and her journey on Instagram, and see the state competition June 28th through the 30th. Thanks again. Good luck. I hope we can have you back on and have some success.
Childhood dream era. So good.
Congratulations. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Welcome back. I think we can all agree that cleaning the bathroom is not fun. According to a recent study, 1 in 5 Americans would give up half of their annual salary, half, to have their bathroom cleaned forever. Others said they would give up eating out, what? And watching their favorite shows. So what would you give up to have a squeaky clean bathroom? Half my salary.
Not half my salary. I'll come to your house and clean your bathroom for half your salary.
What would you give up?
I need a side gig, you know what I mean? I'm not booking commercials these days.
I haven't booked one in a long time, by the way. What would you guys give up?
Like literally 20 minutes of my time just to get it done.
Yeah.
Right. I would give a little elbow grease and maybe dignity.
I'm weird. I quite like cleaning. I feel like it makes me feel really good. Like if I'm a bit stressed, you know I'm really stressed if I start cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes me feel calm and chill. Like a bit mind detox.
Okay.
A bit bleach.
I would give up maybe some ice cream for a day. I'm not an animal. If you are ready for a nice clean bathroom and want to start your bathroom remodel, Jacuzzi can help. You do it the right way. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched, stress-free remodeling process. Call 1-800-996-0017 or just visit jacuzzibathremodel.com. We got a great story before we go. A Polish pilot proposed. Oh, it's like a little tongue twister. A Polish pilot proposed to his girlfriend, a flight attendant, on a recent flight. You got to see her reaction. Take a look.
Jesteś dla mnie największym skarbem, największym spełnieniem moich marzeń. W związku z tym mam do ciebie prośbę, kochanie. Czy zgodziłabyś się zostać moją żoną?
Now you know that's true love. She didn't even look at that ring.
No, you're right.
She was like,
she just ran.
I want this man.
And you know what? How many camera angles were on her? There was like a clip, but a guy from behind. That was great.
Yeah.
He set
How
it
many
up
people
well.
were like, that's great. Let's get this thing off the ground.
Oh my God. You're not Polish, you're Russian. Russian, get it? Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, bye.